This play actually started as a project with Arts Council Wood Buffalo when I was the artist in residence in 2020. And I'd reached out to them and said, you know what, we need a play about the fire. And so I wrote a play about the fire through the residency, and it was very heavy on the drama and the trauma. And what I found through the course of the interviews that I did with people in the community and my own experience and writing it was the play that I wanted to write was not about the fire, it was about recovery and how do we move past these events that happen that make us just stop in our tracks and reevaluate life. How do we come through all of that was the kind of the direction that it started to go. So we're doing the staged reading, which is really just a sort of a reading for an audience through the development of a play. So it's an opportunity for me to hear the story back, for some voices to sort of just bring it to life a little bit rather than just sitting writing. What's been created is verbatim theater, where I interviewed a number of people in the community, and then we sort of weaved all of their stories together into not so much talking about, we do sort of talk a little bit about the fire and the evacuation, only to give it context to get into really the recovery period, because that's really what we were focused on. But we had to talk about what happened first in order to get to the recovery part, and so that kind of gives it context. But there's some funny bits in there that as a humorist, that was something that was very important to me, because I within my work outside of writing plays, it's really about helping people heal with humor. And so humor was a really, really important part for me. There's probably not as much humor in this as I would like in this version of it. Writing actually has become my catharsis. It's when we tell our stories and we get them out of our head, and it's an opportunity to look at it in a different way and get perspective on it. And that's really what's helped me sort of through this process. And I had some awarenesses that some of the ways that I had responded during evacuation were actually connected to a traumatic experience that I'd had 30 years before, and that's what came up for me. So I was through the process of writing the play, doing some other arts activities that I did for the Forged by Fire performance. I actually had some healing when I thought that I had healed pretty well from it. I have a nursing background and an emergency services background, so I'm like, yeah, I totally know how to do this until you're in that experience and things are coming up. And so that's part of a little bit of sharing this with the community, is to help them see how the healing process can work, how it worked for a group of people, and really, for me, it was just a cathartic experience to go through it, to hear other people's stories, to tell my story, and then moving through, it's been really rewarding.